Hey guys, and welcome to Filmmakers Interviewing Filmmakers. My name is Heather Lannan, and I am here with a few from the cast of the Unofficial Fan Film, Neville, Longbottom, and The Black Witch. Welcome, Kathryn Baker and Corinne Bupp. How are you guys doing today?
So great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. You guys have such an overwhelming response from your Unofficial Fan Film that I think I didn't even see coming, because I had heard about it, and I remember asking Kathryn, I was like, what is this secret? And then finally you were like, I was able to get it out. So, which is so exciting. You're like, I've been sitting on this for like, how many months did you say you were sitting on it?
A long time. I think I started back in last September, so around September 2018.
Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. So it's like full.
Oh, it was a long, long time.
Full circle.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And I just kind of want to like jump right into some of like the really cool facts. So I have been following the progress of the viewings and things like that. And so I think when it first was released, I saw that ticker and it has how many now? Did you check today?
It's over 1.5 million.
Yeah, that is so amazing. How do you guys feel about the response you're getting?
I don't even know how to handle it. It is crazy to think that not only so many people have seen it now, but just everywhere. I've never done something like that before. It's really incredible.
Yeah. Did you guys were you approached as like package deal? I'm just kidding. Or was it like how did that all come about or start?
So last year, summer of 2018, I made a short film, and
oh, that's right. It was Jane 30.
I made Jane 30,
and it was so good. And so tell me, you were saying about how they came about during Jane 30, right?
Yes. So we made Jane 30, and then during the screening for all of those short films for the film challenge, our Jane 30 director, Beta Angerol, brought her friend, Kaylee Bailey. And Kaylee saw the film, and she liked my performance in it, and then she decided, I guess, to go look through my Instagram photos and found a photo I had posted that she thought I resembled Helena Bonham Carter in. Yes. And then she sent me a message and asked me if I wanted to be in a Harry Potter short film.
Had you ever been told that you were her doppelganger?
I had been told many years ago by just one of my friends. Yeah, but that was it.
Now the world knows.
Yeah.
It's just insane to me. Yeah. And whenever she approached you, were you kind of like, I did not make that connection with Bellatrix, but all right.
I was basically just, yes. Yes. I would love to be the bad guy. I would love to play Bellatrix. I would love to do anything Harry Potter related. So,
for those of you who don't know, she secretly likes torturing people. I'm just kidding. Secretly, no. Oh my goodness. So that's really, really cool. And so how fast did that take to go from the idea to actually shooting for you guys?
So that was, I think Kaylee approached me around September of 2018, and then we shot March of 2019.
Okay, so that was your pre-pro time. That's so cool.
My story was totally different.
Yes.
Tell me,
Corinne's got a great story.
I want to hear your story. Yeah.
So, our first read-through was March, and then that kicked off the weekend of shooting the whole thing. I got involved the night before.
Tell me more.
Yeah,
What?
I don't think it was any more than 48 hours before the read-through that Kaylee got in touch with me. It's like, we need an Alice for this project. We're really psyched. It's going to be really cool. She kept saying that it was going to be really cool. I was like, okay, yeah, sure.
Did she tell you it was an unofficial fan film?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Which of course piqued my interest.
So are you guys, I'm obviously Harry Potter fan. I don't know much about your fandom.
My fandom is fairly new and growing rapidly.
So when you were growing up, it wasn't Harry Potter. What was your growing up, like stories or the books you read? Or
off the top of my head, I'm going to have to say The Wizard of Oz.
Nice.
But it's not that I didn't read Harry Potter, I wasn't into it, but like the fandom part of it hit a little later in life. Anyway, so I jumped on the project right before it was time to hit the road running.
Wow.
It was amazing.
So was there much rehearsal time for you guys?
For me, yes.
I think our answers are going to be different.
Well, I mean, like, you know, so from an actor's perspective, you can walk onto a set, and if you know you're going to be on the set for 4 to 8 hours, whatever, and you're given, you know, 3 pages of dialogue, you're like, okay, I'm going to go hash this out. And usually you can walk onto it and be confident, right? So is that kind of how you felt coming onto the scene?
That's kind of how I felt, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like I was scrambling leading up to the read-through. Got to the read-through and felt immediately better.
Great.
Because, you know, you meet people and they're all so wonderful. And I was like, okay, we can do this.
Yeah, the interaction was easy.
Yeah, it really was.
That's so good.
And then, yeah, just like you said, on set, go for it.
Because she was amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
her performance just blew me away.
It was unaffected, completely unaffected. Because that was my other question for you, too. In my head, I was thinking, so how does one approach a character like Alice Longbottom, which virtually the Harry Potter world, other than like Pottermore and people like expounding upon the fantasy, like how did you approach developing that character, not really knowing a lot about the wizarding world?
Right.
Like, were you like, I'm just gonna go with it, not thinking like, I'm Alice from Harry Potter, you know?
Well, I mean, how can you not think a little bit I'm Alice from Harry Potter?
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think I really clung to strength and love, because I think those are just like so enormous in her. I mean, the love of her child, and then of course the humanity.
Yeah.
Wizardry.
Wizardry. Wizard humanity?
Wizard humanity.
Non-muggledom.
But
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
it was, but not only the sacrifice for the world. I really just tried to know her and the sacrifice for her son's world.
Yeah.
And just kind of cling to that in everything.
Did you read anything to like...
Actually, this is kind of funny. I don't.
Yeah.
The first thing I did was call 2 of my friends that were super Harry Potter fans and just be like, tell me everything you know. Make sure I'm not missing anything, because that would, make sure I'm not missing anything.
Isn't Kaylee more, I shouldn't say more of a Harry Potter fan, but doesn't she like have a lot of like knowledge of that, so she could have like helped you?
And yes, absolutely. That
set?
was
okay.
Yes, and that was incredibly comforting and grounding to know that like she had my back.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so good.
She was a fantastic director, really,
Yeah.
on set and beforehand in all the pre-production. She was really, really great. She's a huge Harry Potter fan too, so she already knew a lot, but she did, I know, extra research into this story to make sure that it was as accurate as possible.
But were there any sites that you guys frequented to refresh like your knowledge on your backstories at all?
I read Wikipedia and Pottermore.
That's nice.
I just read about the Longbottoms. I read about Bellatrix and the Black family. So yeah, I refreshed my memory that way.
So tell me how you prepared your accents. I want to definitely know from both of you, but tell me how you prepared your accent for, or I should say, how Bellatrix talks. Did you parrot how you were doing it, or was it more of like a passive listening?
It was parroting more so. I recorded Helena Bonham Carter's voice, and then I would practice while I was driving, just repeating after her.
That's awesome.
Because I wanted to make it as, so that fans would really recognize it, and not feel like there's a huge disconnect between the characters.
Definitely got that. The awesomeness.
Yeah.
I think one of the comments, I was watching this guy, I don't know what country he was in. He might have been Germany or I don't know where he was, but your comment to him was, you have great English, by the way, because he was reviewing it as he was watching it, doing a fan reaction, and he was like, oh my gosh, that is Bellatrix. That's her. Oh my gosh, great job. Like, that was his reaction, and I just thought that was so cool. And how was it for you? Like, have you always been naturally gifted and have a proclivity for language, or?
I felt pretty confident in doing a British accent, but Kaylee's approach for the first audition for me, which the day before, was think of Hermione Granger and go from there.
Love it.
So
Channel
great.
Inner Hermione. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the BBC News or?
I watch a lot of British television anyway, so
Anglify.
I'm always watching some sort of British show. Oh yeah, 100%.
What's your favorite British show?
Can I pick?
top 3. Go.
Oh man, I love Doctor Who.
Of course, right?
Super nerd all around. Harry Potter, Doctor Who. I love Merlin.
Yes.
I love Merlin. We're having
The words,
a moment.
Not many people know about
Merlin. Yes.
and the love for that sci-fi show. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Like,
I love
CGI and the
Merlin.
graphics were a little bit... but so what, right?
So
Have
great.
you watched Merlin? Girl,
I
It's
know,
so
I know.
watch Merlin.
know
Seriously.
now.
Yeah.
It's so good. Those
Anyway.
are my favorites.
I'm going to say the Great British Baking Show.
Yes.
Just gonna chuck that in there a little bit.
Yes! Have you noticed
Also
how nice
wonderful.
they all are to each other?
That's why I love it.
It's not like Iron
happy
Chef
show.
where they're like, and here we are, and we're going to rip you apart.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's a
they're all
happy show.
like, it's okay if you lost, we'll miss you.
And if you win, here's a plate.
Yeah.
I love it.
Here's an engraved laser printed plate for you to put your stuff on. That's fantastic. Okay. We've talked a little bit more about the film and stuff like that, so I want to get kind of more into like some of your backstories as just people, actors, whatnot. I read a little bit up on you. So you have your background in theater. Tell me
Yes.
more about that and how you got started.
Yeah, I've been doing theater my entire life, but I went to school for musical theater at Shenandoah University in Winchester, Virginia. Winchester, Virginia. Very nice, very pretty. Moved across the country to do theater in California, and then did that for 2 years. And my husband and I were like,
Roxy. California. No.
that was in Clarksville.
Clarksville. Okay.
California
Cool.
Theater Center was in.
Okay.
California.
Cool. Just like I was like totally like trolling your bio.
Oh my goodness.
That's really, really cool though. And I
Yeah.
saw on your website like some of the cool pictures from your performances.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Emma and then
Yeah.
Little Women.
Oh, Little Women. I love
Yes.
Little Women.
There's been so many remakes of that, like film wise.
Mhm.
Would you ever
Yes. I want to play all the Little Women.
Yes.
All of them.
That's
Yes.
my goal.
Yeah.
And so far I've only made it to the 2 youngest.
Okay, it's okay.
So I'm sure it happens.
You can get older maybe.
Yeah, maybe I'll get older.
Just carve it that way. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at what point were you like, I want to give film a chance?
It was really only not even a year ago. Maybe a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that I really gave film a chance. And so far I love it so much. I mean, after
Yeah.
that weekend, our day 2, that 18-hour day,
Oh, yes.
I was just like,
I don't want to go home.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I like called my husband and I was like, oh, dude, this was such a long day and I could have stayed here longer.
Yeah.
I love it so
Yeah.
much.
And speaking of that long day, I know that there were some stories, and I want to hear some more stories
Some
about
stories?
what it was like on set and some
Oh,
of the
yeah.
difficulties that you guys were facing.
It's freezing.
Cold.
Because this was in
Cold.
December you shot it, or
We shot
March
it
you
in
said?
March.
Why did I think it was
But-
December? March, okay.
So I guess while y'all were running through the woods that morning,
That
it wasn't
morning.
that cold.
Spoiler alert.
You're right. You're
Once
right.
you got in the sun. It was,
Yeah.
well, okay.
It starts earlier.
Call time was 6 a.m. out in the woods.
Holy moly.
South of Nashville, and it was pitch dark because it was still very dark and it was freezing. And we had to get up this hill.
Hill? How steep
Somehow.
is this hill?
It was very steep, and they brought us up in these like
Wait, I'm sorry, but didn't it start with you not being able to get down a road because it was
Oh,
closed?
yeah.
Because of...
Oh yes, okay. Rewind.
Okay. From the top.
So I, of course, plugged the address for set into my GPS, and it had, I think, really rained very heavily the day
Yeah.
before. And so I was driving, and I turned down the road my GPS wanted me to go down, and it was flooded out. And so
You obviously weren't using Waze.
obviously I wasn't. I am not that cool yet. So I called the producer, and she gave me alternate directions, which ended up working out fine.
Nice.
So I made it there. But then, yes, we got there, and it was pitch dark, and it was freezing, and we had to get these four-wheeler type things to get up this
Oh my gosh.
steep hill to get to our green room, which was a cabin
Lovely.
that had
It was lovely.
no heat.
Oh. Not.
It was a lovely
But it
cabin.
was lovely.
It was a lovely cabin. But no heat.
Oh, that's great.
So we were free. We were mostly sitting around that
You
morning.
really were, yeah.
The Frank and the my Death Eater boy band.
Yes.
We're all running around in the woods that morning, and we were sitting there freezing, piled up with blankets and coats.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So you don't like
Yeah.
the cold.
No.
But you're from Maryland, so you're kind of used to it, right?
Okay. I mean, I guess. But the thing is, the South refers to Maryland as the North. The North refers to Maryland as the South. We're
That's weird.
no man's land.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's kind of, ish.
Yeah.
You're from South Florida.
I'm from South Florida.
So you're basically like,
I didn't
fish
see
out of water.
falling snow until I was 18. So, yeah. Wow. There you go.
what was that like for you?
Magical.
Did you cry a little? Did you cry a little?
It was really late at night. I was at college up here in Nashville, and it was really late. My friend said it's snowing, and so I ran out in my pajamas, and I was like, snow!
It's like a Hallmark movie.
It kind of was. Except I was not looking as cute.
Who cares? It's fine. The realistic Lifetime. There we go. It's a little
Lifetime.
bit more gritty
Exactly,
than Hallmark
yes.
is.
Gritty and real.
They're trying. Yeah, they're totally trying.
Yes.
So speaking of tears, the film. So I even watched it for a third time, and when I first watched it, I remember first being in like shock and awe. That it was so beautifully done, very accurate. I mean, just that opening shot.
I know.
I was like,
The
are you
town,
serious?
the little English village.
Like, I was like, where did she steal that from? She didn't. It was amazing. And I was like, holy crap.
It's amazing.
It's beautiful.
And then obviously like the sets, I'm assuming that they were built, but the accuracy, it seemed kind of like, yes, it could have been right out of a Harry Potter film. Just everything like prepared me to weep uncontrollably when Frank and Alice were going down.
I know.
And like I'm getting like a little emotional.
I almost started to, so I feel better.
No.
And then of course like major weeping when, Dumbledore shows up because I'm like, where's my wand? Where's my wand? I need to shoot light into the sky. Because in a way they're kind of martyrs for their cause. And I just remember like thinking like, wow. So when you guys were watching those comments roll in, were you expecting that response? Like the people like crying now, oh my gosh, I'm not crying, you're crying. Like, what was that like for you guys? Like, when you saw it, did you weep? Or like...
Yes.
And I say weep.
And clutch. And, yeah.
God.
Yes. I started tearing up on set when the coverage was on Corinne for that scene when we're having our Bellatrix and Alice moment, and she tells me that my cell in Azkaban is waiting and all of that, and when the camera was on her face, I was standing in front of her just, I'm supposed to be the bad guy, but I'm so emotional right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's just beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I mean, and on top of that too, like I was watching how you were so committed to doing the Cruciatus Curse, like, whew, like, did you hate yourself when you saw it a little bit? Like I hate that I had to kill Frank and Alice. No.
Well, see, I think being the bad guy is a lot of fun. I really like playing villains for some reason. I just think it's really fun, and it's I think it's an important part of the storytelling too, because it gives the heroes a reason to be heroic. And so I was a little surprised when I first saw myself and how intense it looked.
It's amazing.
But veins
Yeah.
popping.
I know,
It's so
they're-
intense.
Veins popping, my mouth was like my whole face.
It was at one, it was at one frame. I paused it at one point and you were like, like,
Good.
it was just so good. I want that to be a still that you have somewhere hanging in your house in the future. You be look how scared I am, kids. Don't make Bellatrix come out.
They're like, she hasn't gotten over it yet. It's still...
This is like after it's like next to your Oscar, or you're like it's gonna be great. Anywho, but yeah, so that was just so good. And
Thank you.
So after all of this, so obviously you guys want to keep the momentum going. What are your plans? What are your plans for more of this, maybe more fan film, more fan fiction, or is it more writing for you, or what are your plans overall? Just curious.
Well,
Mainly acting and
yes,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I want to act as much as I can. If people want to hire me, thank you. I mean, yes. So I would love to act as much as possible. outside of my day job hours. And I'm also a writer. My degree from college is in English creative writing.
Oh, I love that.
And so I've always loved to write. And I just actually had my first screenplay produced, which is very exciting.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that, and we'll go to Corinne.
Yeah. So I wrote a screenplay called Cover, which is about, it's a legal drama short film about a woman whose parental rights are being terminated, and then also the lawyer who is responsible for taking away those parental rights. And it's really about women and family and children and their relationships with their husbands, and it's a little heavy.
I heard it got quite a response, though,
Yeah.
which is really awesome.
Thank you. The director and the cast did, and the producers and editors and composers, everyone just did an amazing job, and they made it look really beautiful.
I personally have not seen it yet, but I want to. But I did read all the reviews that were coming in about Cover, so good. Oh,
She's so gifted and smart.
I know, right? Stop.
Stop.
So what about you, Corinne?
Well, I went away for most of the summer, so I am just diving in back to whatever I can get my hands on, back in class, just...
So you had said earlier that you were thinking about, like this year, you were like, your goal was not to do theater, to do more film.
Yeah.
So what happened with that?
Yeah, so far it's been great. So far it's been weird, though. Like, theater has been my entire life. But, like, I really want to give film, like, its full
chance.
Full chance.
Yeah. So what does that mean? Are you looking into maybe traveling to LA or Atlanta?
I don't know.
Or New
Maybe.
York?
Yeah, Atlanta for sure. But mostly it's keeping my schedule open so that when things come along, I can say yes with, like, no hesitation.
That's good. That's really good. So those are your plans. That's very nice. So we're going to do a few, like, die-hard Harry Potter questions.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
So, and
Ready,
you don't have to feel
ready.
pressure. You can always plead the fifth,
I always
whatever.
feel pressure.
So from what you know.
Okay.
So, first question. What is your Hogwarts house that you were sorted into?
Ravenclaw.
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor! Yes! Not that Ravenclaw. It's not
Hello.
You guys are really, like, studious, and you have, like...
I'm like I like to call myself a Ravendor.
a
Gryffindor. my secondary house.
Huff. Are you really?
Yes.
Really?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Gryffindor?
Griffin Puff.
Oh, Griffin Puff.
Griffin Puff.
Is that a thing? Can someone check that? Comments. Yes, no, maybe.
I've seen where people kind of their secondary house a little bit, and they mix the names.
So that would be like
Ravenclaw.
the, what is it, the Ilvermorny house?
Is that? I don't know.
That was it's like the American
That's the-
wizarding.
yeah,
school.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's alright. That's really
I didn't.
deep, thin
I know
stuff.
they have houses and stuff.
They do.
They mix houses.
Yeah, so they name them after
Okay.
the animals native to the wizarding world in America.
Interesting.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry, Harry Potter people. But mine's the Puckwudgie house.
Oh.
They have really fun names. Go over to Pottermore and figure out if you're a Puckwudgie. Okay, so Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, or Griffin Puff and Ravendor.
Yes.
I'm definitely just a Gryffindor. I'm not as cool as you guys, like 2 houses. Okay, do you know what your Patronus is?
I do.
What's your Patronus?
A mangy dog.
Really?
I know. I thought that, but I was like, why isn't it just a regular dog?
I love that.
Mangy dog.
A mangy dog.
Yeah.
What did those descriptions say? I never remember what all the Pottermore descriptions say.
I don't remember what the description was, but that was...
Something like, probably like, you're okay being a loner and you're... I don't know. But you're not a loner. That's the thing.
I'm an introvert.
It's a good look for you.
Yeah.
It's the hair.
I'm an introvert,
Okay.
but I like people. For the most part.
That's good.
Yeah.
That'll serve you well in this
Yeah.
profession.
Yes.
I love awkwardness. Okay, Patronus. Okay, so you said it's a mangy dog.
Yeah.
Mine is an osprey.
Oh.
Is osprey?
That's a bird, right?
Osprey? Osprey, yes, it's a bird.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I'm an Aquarius and we're air signs.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, I
There
take
you go.
flight.
Yeah.
weird, really weird, not Harry Potter related, but what are your signs?
I'm not sure. Didn't they change them?
No.
They didn't?
That was totally,
Okay.
no.
That was not
If you look it up, it still is the traditional dates that
Okay.
I've never not been. Never.
I don't pay attention to it a lot, but I think I'm a Taurus.
Taurus?
I think.
Earth signs. Those are
Yeah.
really good. Yeah.
A Leo.
Oh, of course you are.
Uh-oh. Well,
No, Leos are fun.
they are fun.
They're fun
They
and
can
they're
be pretty
loyal.
competitive, so I...
But it's a good thing. But it's a good thing. You're very loyal, and
Yeah.
you just think about that, and like lion-hearted, so courageous. You know.
Perfect.
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
Yes. I'm just a flighty lion, I guess. Birds. Anyway. Okay, and if you know, I'm trending that this may not be something you know, but do you know your wand type and core?
I know it's a unicorn hair core.
That's so cool.
But I don't remember the rest of it. But I know
Unicorn.
it has a unicorn hair.
Unicorn hair. So that would be your core.
Yeah.
I think mine's dragon heartstring.
Okay.
They call it a dragon heartstring, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's other cores like phoenix. You'd probably be a
Phoenix feather.
phoenix. Phoenix feather.
I can see that.
Totally
on
see a
that.
phoenix feather. Fiery. I totally thought you were an Aries too, by the way. Because there are fire signs.
Oh, interesting.
But the Leos and Aries
Yeah.
are constantly confused just because you guys are similar.
Interesting.
Makes sense. Fierce. Okay. Okay, let me see. Oh, favorite Harry Potter character. And this includes all the verse. So that means
Oh,
like
gosh.
anything from early to most recent films in Harry Potter.
That is a really difficult question. I like different characters for different reasons.
I know.
But
I'm
do
just
you have
gonna go
one
on
that always
one
sticks
gut.
out?
Oh, no, see.
Can I say two?
Yes, you
Okay,
can.
great. I loved Hermione from the beginning because I just related to her so much as a young girl who was like a super nerd.
Are we talking about Hermione books?
Hermione books.
Not Emma Watson, right?
Yes,
Although we
yes.
love you,
Although-
Emma.
We love Emma.
We love
I
Emma.
mean, love Emma.
Freaking amazing
Yes.
feminist you are.
Love Emma, but yeah, this is when I was reading the books when I was very young, and I just related to Hermione so much, and I loved her because I was like, she loves to read, she's a nerd,
She's like
and she's
me.
brave, and I just love it, and she
I
was
love
so
it.
cool. So I loved Hermione, and then I've always liked Snape from the beginning too. I stole your answer.
No, it's just awesome. He goes in top 5 for me.
Okay,
but
great. I've loved Snape since from the first book when I realized he was saving Harry's life at the Quidditch tournament.
Spoiler alert if you haven't read the books.
That came out in like 1997.
Sorry. And there's a lot of people I've talked to that actually have not read the books. And if you haven't read the books, get on it. I promise you will not
Yeah.
be disappointed. Or read them to your kids if you have kids.
Do it.
Yeah, you'll have a good time. And you can read it in a British accent, which makes it even better.
It'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've loved Snape
Yes.
since then because I just knew he was this tragic, tortured character who doesn't always, do the best thing or treat people exactly as he should. But I just really like his story.
Yeah, me too.
should be a fan film.
It should be.
Oh, man. Well, and speaking of fan films, really quick though before we go
Oh.
on, your favorite,
Oh,
your
right.
favorite,
I mean,
like if you have two
right,
Harry Potter
I couldn't
characters.
not say Hermione.
Yeah.
So that feels a little on the nose. That seems too obvious. And I could not say Neville because his arc is cool, but he's my son, so.
A little biased.
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to say Dobby.
Yes.
Oh, Dobby.
Yes, Dobby is in my top 2.
Yay.
Yeah, who are your top?
Well, obviously I've always loved Hermione.
Of course.
Because as a young girl, like when I read these, I
Yes.
remember devouring the entire Sorcerer's Stone, laying on my living room floor for whatever reason. It was really odd
Yeah.
positions I found myself in on the floor, like leg up, like reading like the 3rd chapter. I just would not move. It was
Yeah.
that one summer day I just read the whole book sitting there on the floor.
Nice.
And I remember being like, I am Hermione.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I think the goal was for any
Right.
girl reading these books. But then later it changed, and I was like, oh my god, I love Luna. Like, I am
Luna.
yeah.
I
do
love Luna. And who
Yes.
doesn't love Cho Chang? I love Cho Chang, but I'm definitely a Luna because
Yes.
I get how her quirky sensibilities can sometimes be a Phoebe Friends moment where it's like
yeah.
she's even more weirdo than Phoebe. You know what I mean? Friends. I'm just like, I let everyone know. Depending on the age of the audience, you may not know what Friends are. The Friends TV show, we're talking about like Joey, Rachel, Monica, which I'm a Monica, let's be real. Just as a reference. But anyways, back to the point. But yeah, I love Luna. And then Dobby.
Yes.
Because I remember the scene where I remember reading, which was it? Not Chamber. It was
When he
Goblet.
dies?
When he dies.
That's
Dobby dies.
That's in.
It's much later though. Wait, is it much later? Deathly Hallows.
He does it Deathly Hallows, yeah,
Yes.
because he rescues them
And
from
he
Malfoy
apparates.
Manor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Another crying time. Very
Yes.
trying.
It was very sad.
I remember reading the
Bellatrix-
books.
Bellatrix kills him.
I know.
That
Because
girl.
the
I know, knife throw.
the dagger or whatever.
I know.
Yeah. I remember
That girl.
reading that, and the book, the films were far from being made, but I remember reading that, and I like wept openly, and I got angry at
Bellatrix.
well, no, I got angry at Bellatrix, but I also got angry at J.K. Rowling. How can you kill Dobby? How can you kill my favorite character? He was so innocent and pure-hearted. You know, he was just trying to help.
Yeah.
You know, it was like one of those moments. So different from the books, but I'm assuming you've seen some of the films.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, do you have a favorite film? Harry Potter film?
Probably Prisoner of Azkaban.
Ooh, that's such a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah. It gets, like, darker and...
Yeah,
Yeah.
the director, he was different from all the others, you know, and I really loved his vision, like the very subtle details and like the
Yeah.
falling leaves
Yeah.
and like that
And
was
see,
really
we got
cool.
to see a little bit more about the way the students dress outside of just their cloaks in that movie. We're making up. I'm the right one. Yeah.
yeah, their personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a little darker than all the other ones,
was.
which
I
I liked
liked
too.
it.
We like the dark.
Yes.
Yes. Did you have a favorite film?
Probably Deathly Hallows, both parts put together.
Yeah.
I liked the way they did it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. I really liked those too, but my first the film that I really like got into was actually Order of the Phoenix.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I really liked that one because I loved how like you see more of like Sirius and Harry's relationship,
Yes.
and
That's
like
pretty awesome.
and you get to know like what the adults who are like a part of the
Right.
original Wizarding War
Right.
actually experienced. You know, you get a little history there, and then how they're passing this on to their kids, and it's like a
Right.
generational war that they're going through. So it's just kind of drawing parallels to our current time and
Yeah.
lots of crap we're going through. So
I think I saw the midnight showing of that one.
I saw
I
all
think
the
I
midnight
did.
showings.
All of them? I think I saw the midnight of that one.
I showed up on a couple of them where they were selling the books, like they would do the book releases, but it was mainly the midnight showing. So you went to all the midnight showings?
No, I didn't do
Okay.
all of them, but I think like I'm picturing seeing that one. I'm
And
pretty sure
midnight,
that's the midnight one.
Do you guys have any Harry Potter stories of when you were kids, like Halloweens or like showing up at the theater in full garb?
I don't think I ever dressed up to go to the
I
theater.
didn't dress up to go to
No.
the theater.
That
I
was
would.
only me. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, but I mean, I would watch the movies right away, get the books right away, and like read the book the day it came out. You know,
Yeah.
just all of it. My mom would have to make me come eat dinner. She's like, "No, you have to come eat." I was like, "No, I can't."
Bring it to me in my bed.
Yeah.
My mom read them with me, so that was really nice.
That's
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any advice for other fans out there who are thinking, well, I could do a fan film, or I could do, you know, something kind of like what they're doing, or I want to do acting? Do you have any advice for people who might be watching who are like, I'd like to get into either the fan film fiction world or acting, or what do you have advice for them? Like little steps, or what advice do you have for our fans?
If you want to act, get into an acting class.
Very good advice.
I mean, I'm still constantly in acting.
Are you hungry?
Making some
We're gonna take a
noise.
break
Sorry
or
about
something.
that.
I'm still constantly in acting class, you know, because it's just a great way to hone those skills and practice new types of characters and new types of scenes, working with different scene partners. So definitely take an acting class. And then create your own stuff. If you really do, I mean, just do it. It's, you can find a good team, and you can do it.
Yeah,
It's
that
possible.
was my biggest
Yeah.
advice is just do it.
Yeah.
Just be fearless. Just try to create it. Try to do it, or get in an acting class or whatever it is. Because, well, I mean, as far as Harry Potter fans or fans are concerned, like, fans love it. Fans, you know, we all want to see more of this world or hear more stories. Who, use that imagination and just go for it.
Because it's probably true that what they say is like everyone's experience of the Harry Potter Wizarding universe is different.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
and
all
how,
subjective.
How cool to see all the
Yeah.
everyone's insight,
Yeah.
everyone's
Yeah.
imagination.
Have you
Right.
guys seen many of the other fan films that have been made?
I've seen a couple. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I've seen a
pretty,
couple.
pretty good.
There are some really good ones
Like,
out there. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really cool. The Harry Potter fandom, I think, is really special, and just everyone cares so much and is really invested in it and loves it so much that they just and is very supportive too, which I think has been great also for our film, because overwhelmingly the comments and responses have been so positive.
Do you have a favorite?
And no. I don't think I have. No, I can't think of a particular one, but overall they've just been really, really wonderful and very gracious and complimentary, and that's just so lovely to hear that people appreciate,
The work you guys
the
put
work
in.
that we did. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you have any other advice?
Besides just do it, be fearless.
Yeah, just do it. Be fearless.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you guys want to say directly to the camera?
Thank you.
So is she having a moment? Do you need to eat?
Is the camera up once?
It's
it's
over there. No.
Be brave.
What about for
like
young
that.
girls?
Don't let anything stand in your way. If you want to do something, if you want to try something, just go for it. I mean, I think, what do they say? The worst they can do is say no.
Yeah.
And then you try again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what would you like to say to the young ladies and mainly young women, I should say, out there?
Kind of similar along the same lines, but it's a quote that you might recognize, and it's the one that's on my phone background. And it's anything is possible if you've got enough nerve.
I like that. Who said that?
It's J.K. Rowling, and I think it's in Harry Potter. Yeah, it's in the books, I believe. I don't remember which one.
Ooh, and speaking of really great
Yeah.
quotes, so there were several comments, and then we'll wrap. There were several comments, and I think the one that people resonated with the most is the heart remembers what the mind forgets. Or sometimes the heart remembers. Is that what it is? That-
Dumbledore's line.
Yes, it's so sweet.
I know.
That needs to be like a poster,
I know.
like so I
Yeah.
can look at it every day.
That's Kaylee's writing. It's amazing.
And so she wrote the entire.
She did. She wrote it.
Okay. Because I was gonna ask you, like, if you guys like helped her at all with like rounding out any of that. Okay.
She wrote it. Yeah.
All right, Kaylee. I need to get you in here so I can interview you. Please. So really quickly, we're going to get the handles. Do they say handles anymore? Whatever, scratch that.
I don't know.
We're going to get the social information from Kathryn and Corinne. Go. Instagram.
My Instagram is the Kathryn Baker.
And mine is Corinne Bupp. 1 R, 2 N's.
Mine is Heather Lannan. All right, and then you can find us all on Facebook. Same, usually, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay, if you want to go there, but Instagram seems to be the landing spot for most of us. Check out the fan film, the unofficial fan film, Neville, Longbottom, and the Black Witch on Muggleflix on YouTube. You can also find them also on Instagram and Facebook. And we're hoping that more comes from this. And if you guys have any questions, please continue to put them in the comments below. We'll have a follow-up probably here in a little bit to where we can respond to some of your questions. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we love you. And go Harry Potter World.